Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar on Oregon State's Doctorate of Education program with an emphasis in community college leadership. I'm Dan Miles with Oregon State eCampus, and I'm joined today by Amy Thies, who is our Enrollment Services Manager, and Dr. Joe Johnson, who is an instructor and the program lead for community college leadership at OSU's College of Education. So here's a brief look at what we're going to cover today. This presentation will be about 20 minutes long, which will allow plenty of time at the end to answer your questions. We'll provide an overview of the Doctorate of Education program, the curriculum, the admissions process, tuition and financial aid, an overview of Oregon State University and eCampus. And then we'll move on to your questions. We really encourage you to take this opportunity to ask questions to ensure that you're fully informed about our program. You can type in your questions as they come to mind during the presentation, and then we'll answer them during this segment. Afterward, we'll provide some additional resources that may be useful to you. And this webinar is being recorded. All registrants will receive a link to the webinar video, and it will be posted on the OSU eCampus YouTube channel under the playlist titled Webinars. Can everyone hear me? Type in a question if you can hear me. Thanks. Also, if you need text captions, they're available at the web address listed at the bottom of the screen. So now that we've taken care of our housekeeping business, let's move on to the fun part of our presentation. Joe's going to provide us an overview of the Community College Leadership Program.
First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being with us today. And I think the most important thing I could share with you that a long time ago, I was a community college faculty member, a program director, and I was someone that my peers talked to me about enrolling in one of these programs. I wasn't sure how the programs worked. I wasn't sure about how much it was going to cost me. I wasn't very shaky about how long it was going to take me. And I really wasn't even sure if I wanted to do it. So what I want to tell you is I'm Joe Johnson. I'm a faculty member here. But I started my career as a faculty member in 1970 at a very small community college in California. I worked at Cerritos College in Southern California for 3 years, Santa Rosa Junior College for 9 years, became president at Clark College in Washington State for 15 years, chancellor of the San Mateo District in Northern California for 4 years, and president of Clackamas Community College here in Oregon for 5 years. And as you can suspect, I'm now a retired community college administrator. And I'm employed here because I want to share my experiences, what I believe will be the next generation of higher education leaders. As I reflect back, I know what it is you want in a program. I know that you want a program that's designed for working professionals. You don't want to go to class Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the afternoon. It has to be something that fits into your schedule and fits into your lifestyle. I know that you want a cohort model because you want to know who your fellow students is, and you want their encouragement in terms of having your work completed. I know that you don't want a strictly online program, but you also don't want one that meets day after day in the classroom. So here at Oregon State University with you have a program that's been here for 23 years. It's a quality program, and it's a program in terms of cost that's very cost effective, and we're going to talk about that. And as you look at other programs and this program, you're going to be able to find that this is a program that will serve you very well. A program with rigor, a program with relevant theory, application of theory to the real world, sound advising, and an interest in your own personal growth and your career. And moving on to the next one, I know that we ask ourselves, why would we earn our doctorate in education? And I thought about that a lot, and I in truth really think it boils down to 3 reasons. One is opportunity. And you know this, I cannot think of a profession with greater career opportunity. Higher education and community colleges are full of positions simply from turnover and retirements. And that's from the presidential level to the vice presidential level, deans, assistant deans, director, leads, and faculty. Literally across the country, there are thousands of openings. And what other profession can truly say that? And the number one complaint I get as the lead of this program is from recruiters and the American Association of Community Colleges that say to me, Joe, you don't turn out enough students. So opportunity is key. But the other is success. As you advance up the career ladder, more and more job openings state that an earned doctorate or an appropriate degree is required or preferred. You know that for most top-level administrative positions there are multiple applicants, and screening committees will use the earned degree as a way to select the finalists. Example, my own experience. I was an associate dean at Santa Rosa Junior College. I finished my doctorate at UC Berkeley in June, and the following June I was president of Clark College. And the third reason is for your own personal growth, your own self-confidence. Every few weeks, I'll have one of the students come forward to me and talk about a career opportunity. And they will always say to me that it was a doctoral program that provided them with the self-confidence to know they were going to be successful in a major leadership position. The coursework in this program is designed to increase your administrative skills, your understanding of an organization, rural or urban, large or small. You're going to have an opportunity to learn about organizational theory, leadership, instruction, student services, legal, financial, ethics, and the application of the theory to the work environment. So, why Oregon State University and the benefits of our program in community college leadership? You know, when we were working on this slide, truthfully, I had to laugh to myself. I really did. I thought to myself, does anybody realize that Joe Johnson knows the programs up and down the West Coast? Do they know I attended USC? Do they know I attended Berkeley? Do they know I, as a chancellor, participated in the push for the programs that were added to the California State University system by law? Do they know I know the programs at places like Seattle University, Pepperdine, and Claremont? Well, I do. And I know what to expect in those programs, and I know what the benefits are of this program. We have multiple faculty actively engaged in research and publications. We have an incredible student-faculty ratio. In our cohorts, we enroll approximately 12 students a year, and yet we have 5 Oregon State University faculty working with those students. In this program, you have experienced faculty. You have faculty who've been or are currently community college presidents, vice presidents, deans, including 2- and 4-year college deans. And program cost. You have to remember, this is a program that does not charge out-of-state tuition. And when you start looking at the required credit hours, this program permits you to transfer in 33 to 35 of your master's degree credits, literally the entire master's degree, significantly reducing the number of credit hours you're going to need before graduating. This is a program with a proven success track record. Graduates are employed. They're employed as presidents, vice presidents, deans, director, and faculty. They stay in contact with us, they stay in contact with their peers, and they share openings and opportunities. And the most important thing of this program is there is an enormous emphasis on completion. If you're admitted to this program and you enroll, we're going to do everything as a faculty to provide the support and encouragement you need to make sure you finish. You're going to be assigned a primary faculty member during your first year, and that faculty member will remain with you through the entire program to help you so you finish and defend your dissertation. So, we mentioned the word cohort model. Again, I smile because those of you who are in higher education working now in 4- or 2-year institutions know that cohort models represent one of the most successful learning models in higher education. This program was founded 23 years ago as a cohort model, and every class entered this program together, moved through the required curriculum, and then they moved forward in terms of their own individual dissertation. Again, as I said, about 12 students in each cohort. The first 2 years are spent taking the required courses. You start in the fall, winter, and spring. You're required to meet on a weekend in person, face-to-face, only twice. Those of you who've been talking to people who've been in this program, and that's how we get almost all the references, they will have told you that it's a program you have to meet 3 weekends. That has been changed. You only have 2 times a quarter you meet, and in the summer we have a 1-week session which may be changed and reduced in time as we move forward. The classes meet in the Portland metropolitan area in a community known as Wilsonville, which is on the south end of Portland. That's important because it has very easy airport access, and it's a very easy drive for those who are Oregonians or Washingtonians. The majority of our students are from Oregon, Washington, and California. But you know we have students that fly in and attend from Hawaii, Alaska, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, Montana, Idaho, and Illinois. And that's because it's a very simple schedule. It doesn't require that you're going to class the entire quarter. It requires only 2 weekends of your time each quarter, and you've got the job done, and the rest is all online. As you know, in a cohort model, you're going to get to know your peers. There's peer support. There's development of a tight professional network. There's collaboration on academic work. And there's multiple individual and small group projects that are rewarding by completing together. And then even after the classes end, the program's over and people are working on their dissertation, some of the cohorts still meet to encourage everyone to complete their degree on time. So, the community college leadership curriculum. We do get questions because there is a PhD option. And yes, there is, which requires additional graduate hours, but it is for students with a research interest. Very, very few of our students select that option because it requires that you be selected by a faculty member, work directly with that faculty member, and it's for students who are really interested in terms of research and publications. Most choose the EDD option, which is only 108 graduate hours, and you're permitted to transfer in 36 graduate hours, as I said. That means you only need to earn 72 credit hours at Oregon State University, and again, there's no out-of-state tuition associated with that. The way the program works, the first 2 years are spent taking the required classes, and the next 2 years are spent working on your dissertation. Students will generally be in the program and graduate in 3 to 3.5 to 4 years. The course structure is that students will begin classes at approximately 2 o'clock on Thursday, attend all classes Thursday, all day Friday, and Saturday morning. Again, you'll do that at the beginning of the quarter and at the end of the quarter. And everything else will be done online. And then there are 2 summer classes that you're required to take here in Corvallis, and that is under review in terms of that may no longer be a requirement as we move off into the future. You're also required to complete a 6-hour internship, and that's designed to help you explore some area other than the area in which you're working. If you're in instruction, it's encouraged to go into student services or finance or some other area to help broaden your background and to broaden your experience. And again, your topics that include everything from leadership to ethics to legal to finance. And there are a large number of research and perspective classes that help you develop your research proposal. And we're very specific about that. We started very early in the program so that when you complete at the end of the second year, you have most of your dissertation proposal done. And we even are dividing our courses up in terms of qualitative and quantitative depending upon the type of research proposal that you plan to undertake. Faculty. As I mentioned, there are 5 of us in the Oregon State University campus. In truth, there really are 6. There are 5 within the program's area itself, but there are 6 of us wandering around the campus here. We have 2 new ones. We have Lucy Ariano, who has her PhD and is an assistant professor and has a research focus on persistence, retention, and degree completion of emerging student populations. Felicia Herrera, who has her PhD and a research focus on higher education, institutional structures, and policies that impact educational pathways. And she served as a research analyst for the Higher Education Research Institute. Darlene Russ-Epp, I joke about Darlene that I think she's published more than anyone I've ever encountered. I'm sure that's not true, but it sure seems that way to me today. I was in an office with her, and I had picked up one of her books, and it was so heavy I thought I can't even read this thing, and she does a terrific job in terms of her research and her writing effort. And what's fun is when you're Skyping with her, you're never sure if she's sitting in her office or she's in Thailand or she's in China or she's in Europe or she's somewhere conducting research or teaching someplace. So it's a great asset to the program. Sam Stern is the retired Dean of the College of Education here at Oregon State University. And we have myself, and then we have another faculty member, Larry Roper, who's a retired Vice President of Student Affairs. He's not in our department, but he's here at Oregon State University and has a number of our students. And I know you have questions and thoughts about the diversity of the faculty and the students. We have Latina faculty, Latino faculty, we have Black faculty, we have student committees that include faculty or Native Americans, Asian, Pacific Islander. So we have a very, very diverse student body. As you know, that reflects the diversity of the community colleges that you'll find across the country and certainly on the West Coast. And for those of you who are Californians, you know that the whole issue of diversity is a very important topic and certainly important in terms of career and working with students. And as I've said to you, the thing that's the most important fact about this faculty is not simply that the faculty is engaged in research or the faculty is teaching, is that the faculty is personally interested in your well-being and your success as a student here on campus or in the program. Next is admissions. And I want to correct one thing. If you looked at the website, there's something on the website that's been there that's not required, and that's the graduate record examination. We do not require the graduate record examination. There's a reason. That's because we really require that you completed or have the equivalent of a master's degree and have a minimum GPA of 3.0 for admission. So that is a screening tool for us. So when we're looking at you as an applicant, we ask, have you the appropriate academic credentials? You provide a statement of career aspirations, and in truth, we are very interested in that. We are interested in the concept of working professionals. We want to know that you're interested in a program like this because you really feel in terms of research work or in terms of your own personal career aspirations, you're going to be making a contribution to higher education or community colleges. We ask for official transcripts, as all institutions do. We want a resume so we understand a little bit about your experience. We want to know that you've been employed or had an opportunity to be employed some way that deals with the educational world, and that helps us in terms of knowing that we're appropriate as a program for you and knowing that you're going to be able to make a contribution in the classroom. Letters of recommendation, as you would expect, and we do an oral interview. You do not have to do the oral interview here at Oregon State University. You can come here or you may do it by Skype. And one of the things I want to mention about that is we have a number of people that will travel to come here for the oral interview, and it's not because of us. It's because they want a chance to look us over as faculty and they want a chance to look over the institution. So you're welcome to do that. So again, we're looking for working professionals in 4-year and 2-year institutions, and I don't say that lightly. We have a number of people in the program who are at 4-year institutions that enroll and successfully advance their careers. And we want to know that you have a career interest or a research interest, and that you will be successful working in a cohort learning model. Before I turn you over to my colleague here, I want to say one other thing. I think you have to be careful when you select a program. I think you have to know that it's an established program. I think that you have to know that you're putting your career on the line when you select that program. This is a quality program, and I, as a faculty member, am interested in the career pathway you will follow, in the investment you're required to put into this program, but most of all, I want to see you complete, and I want to see you be successful. So,
All right, Dr. Johnson, thank you so much for sharing such great information with us. And there are a couple of questions that are in the queue, so I know that you're going to be here to help us respond to all of those in just a couple of minutes. Before we move on to the question section, I just want to talk a little bit about the tuition rates. So my name is Amy Feast. I'm in Enrollment Services here for eCampus. Our current tuition rate for this specific program is $541 per credit. And since a typical course is about 3 credits, you're looking at just over $1,600 for tuition per course. There are always additional fees in textbooks, and that generally is including any textbooks or other course materials that you would be required to obtain in order to successfully complete that course. There's not a lot of hidden fees. One of the things that we're really proud of here at eCampus is that regardless of where in the world you reside, you will pay the same tuition price. We don't have residence rates or out-of-state rates for any of our eCampus courses. All of our programs are also able to accept financial aid. Excuse me, I skipped a slide there. So here's a little bit of information for you about financial aid. You can find out if you are eligible for federal aid by clicking on studentaid.ed.gov and looking over the eligibility requirements. As you know, there's grants and scholarships and loans on that that you can access through that website. You can also find scholarships from studentaid.ed.gov. Of course, we do have a financial aid office here that can help you once you've completed your FAFSA, your free application for federal student aid on the FAFSA website, which is on the resource page at the end of the slide. Once you've completed that, you can work directly with our financial aid office to talk about your award, how to get your award, to find out when checks would come if you've accepted award, all of that type of information. And now I'd like to introduce Dan Miles to talk to you a little bit about Oregon State University.
Thanks, Amy. Here's a little information about Oregon State. OSU is regionally accredited by the Northwest Commission on Colleges and Universities. Our main campus is located in Corvallis, Oregon. We have more than 30,000 students. And OSU is an internationally recognized public research university and is only one of 2 land, sea, space, and sun grant universities in the nation. We're constantly engaged in worldwide research with well over $260 million in research grants. So what does that mean to OSU students? It means our faculty incorporates that leading edge knowledge directly into their courses. So our students are learning from the latest discoveries in science and technology. eCampus has over 13,000 students from all 50 states and in over 40 countries. If you're wondering how eCampus fits within the structure of the university, basically we provide access to Oregon State's high-quality programs to Oregonians and people around the world who otherwise could not come to our campus and further their education. For community college leadership, we provide the infrastructure to deliver courses in person, and we provide the technology for instruction and cohort collaboration online. This in-person plus online approach provides the best of both worlds for working professionals who can't leave their jobs and relocate their families to earn an advanced degree. So now that we've outlined our program, cost, and financial aid, and the prestige of earning a degree from Oregon State, you now have the opportunity to ask questions. While we're waiting, Joe, are there any questions that you hear most frequently from prospective students?
You know, it's really interesting in that a lot of our prospective students are uncertain about whether or not this is the right course of action for them. There are people who are hesitant about whether or not they're really going to pick up and leave the institution where they're employed, take their families with them. And I think what this does is open doors, it opens opportunity, it opens pathways. But most important, it empowers you. It empowers you in a sense of the ability to understand the changes that are taking place in higher education and community colleges, to understand how we fit in today's world, how we're serving the world, and how we're going to change the world. I think it gives you a strength of character. Again, as I said, self-confidence. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're going to leave the institution. It doesn't matter whether or not you want to be a president. It matters whether or not you want to engage and change the world. And so help me goodness, if we don't all want to do that, we're all in trouble. This world needs a new set of leaders.
Dr. Johnson, there's a question from somebody in the audience, and it's actually a two-part question. The first question is how many hours could be transferred into the doctorate in education? And the second part of that is, are there any time limits to the credit hours that might be transferred into the program?
The number that can be transferred in, if it was in the PhD area, it would be 33 credit hours. In the doctorate EDD, it would be 36 credit hours. And the answer would be we would look at in terms of when the program was completed. And frankly, I can't think of a time when we said to somebody your master's degree was 8 years old, and so therefore we're not going to take it. So I think the best answer to that is, so far it's never happened that we've said to somebody that your master's degree is from an earlier time period. So it's just not come up.
Thank you so much. And while we're going over some questions, I've just added some additional online resources on the screen. So I know that you do have access there to all of the financial aid resources as well as some program resources and more information about tuition and fees. I do encourage you to type your questions in if you've got any further questions for Dr. Johnson or for us here at eCampus. Somebody is curious to know if a program like this might be a good match for somebody who's working in a four-year university but has interest in community colleges.
That is an excellent question, and I'm going to repeat that just to make sure everybody takes a look at that question. Supposing I'm working at a four-year institution and I have this interest in a community college, it's not simply that question. It's a question, what if I'm public policy, I'm working in a state agency, what if I'm actually in a K-12 situation working with people that are co-enrolled in community college programs? And the answer to that question is it definitely. We have a number of people who enroll in this program who are already employed. They somehow have a special interest in the community colleges, and this enables them to make that transition or transfer.
It looks like we do have a couple more questions. Can you describe the online learning experience in more detail? What tool and applications are currently being utilized? There's one part of that I'd like to address. We're currently using Blackboard as our learning management system. We're moving, though, to Canvas. So some of our courses are currently in Canvas. We intend for all of them to be in Canvas by the next school year. So by the time you would join this, everything should be in Canvas, assuming that everything goes according to plan. We also do have an online course demo that you're welcome to check out on our ecampus.oregonstate.edu website. You can actually, there's a course demo right on the homepage, so you can take a look at what that is. You can actually log into the system, kind of poke around to see what it would be like to open up separate files, how to submit homework, if there are videos included in your class, what it would be like to open those embedded videos and watch those. I do want to clarify that our online classes are not, it's not like watching television. All of your supplemental guides are in one location that you can access everything, and there could be some video or animated support to that, but it's not like you would be logging in every week and watching an hour-long film of a lecture and then just turning in homework. And then, Dr. Johnson, do you have anything to add about that? I
would add to it, and I think every student would expect this. It changes so fast. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I remember, and the cohorts themselves will absolutely have a style. We have some that all link on Facebook. and they exchange all their work there. I was working in another institution, and I had a very large, tremendous access to Dropbox. The students discovered that, and so they set up their subfolders in the Dropbox session, and we actually did all the videos and other things, and we put them in this, and we just linked into that. So it changes from quarter to quarter, and we try to incorporate the latest in terms of technology. We do these in Blackboard, which would be now Canvas. We do these online presentations that the students record, and they put voice overrides. And those are, of course, outside of Blackboard or Canvas, but with a link. And different students use different programs, and that's acceptable. And they're familiar with those programs, and so it makes it easier for them. So we're very flexible in that regard, and we, as fast as it comes along in terms of software, our statistical packages in terms of research methods, we incorporate them or bring them right into the classroom.
Okay, and then we've got another good question, noting that the cost for credits up to the 108 credits, does the 108 credits that we listed as a requirement for the program completion include the cost of the dissertation?
Yes, it does. Okay. That is the total cost of the program all the way through to the dissertation. And again, you would look at that 108, you would subtract out your transfer credits of 36, so you'd really be looking at 72, and that would include from beginning to end.
Thank you. Another person is curious to know if one student were to begin the program on the Doctorate of Education and later develop interest to change that to a philosophy doctorate, is it possible to change tracks?
It's possible, but it's very rare. The reason is because at a point when we've changed that because it's so rare. And that is, it's generally at the point of admission, but there's a reason. Because at the point of admission, the faculty member is selecting you as a student to be involved in their research work, or you have a particular interest that you're going into, and they're interested in doing that research with you. So you're literally linked from the very beginning. And so you go along working with that faculty member, and you're also assigned to that faculty member. So that's the reason. But it's possible down the road a faculty member could get a research grant, need additional students, and that has happened, and puts the word out, and a person then can make the switch.
Thank you.
And I see a question up there about additional housing costs.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see that up on the board.
Oh, I'm sorry, we should read it.
Okay. Are there additional housing costs for the 2 meetings per term? Absolutely, yes there are. So let's take Wilsonville, for example. And I can really talk about Wilsonville because I live right there. So it's my backyard. All kinds of inns and Comfort Inn to whatever. There are different places, and the Motel 8, whatever. So a student would be there for Thursday night and Friday night, and that would be the cost. It would be a cost to the student. Also, the student has a cost of the meals. And so that there would be that expense and the transportation for any student that's coming in and coming out. We might have mentioned we have a lot of students that carpool. They'll even carpool to meet together at the airport and drive down and rent one rental car for themselves.
Great, thank you. So it looks like as of this point we have just one more question, and I think we've got time to answer it. So some of this I believe you touched on, Dr. Johnson, in your presentation, but if you could maybe pontificate again. Are there 3 specific aspects of your program that you would make your program the program of choice?
Well, it just so happens that I think so. We all know about the American Association Community College in terms of the leadership competencies. Do you know that our program is aligned with those AACC competencies? And would you happen to know why they might be aligned? Because if you know, you're looking to our program, Mary Spilde, who helped write them for the American Association Community College, and is president of Lane Community College, is one of our faculty members. So we're directly linked in terms of the issues of the competencies that are required for administrators. Secondly, we have an enormous emphasis in terms of the completion agenda. A number of our students are working on that, and that's where it's at in terms of community colleges and a lot of the reform movements that are taking place. And then there's an enormous interest in this program in terms of the concept of social justice. Every single faculty member, every single month, the agenda begins with a discussion of something related to social justice. We're very aware of the changes that are taking place in this country. We're very aware of the changes in the nature of the students we serve. We're very aware of the economic challenges that are faced by people in this country. And we're concerned about that, and we know that community colleges are on the front line. So if you want to be on the front line, if you want to make a change in this country, if you want to make a change in people's lives, if you're as passionate as I am, and I was at Berkeley when they fired the water cannons, and I was there when Mario gave the speech on the steps of Frau Hall, and by God, I'm committed to change. If you're committed to change, this is a program for you.
All right, Dr. Johnson.
I love it.
To follow up with that question, the same audience member is curious to know if you see any current areas for improvement or possible growth for your program.
Yes, I think so. I think the important thing is going to be in terms of a change in terms of program. Example would be Sam's retiring. So the area that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to look very hard to make sure that we are looking at faculty who represent a new generation of students, a new generation that's really involved in social media, a new generation that understands the whole world of the delivery of education and the outreach to students, and the fact that we have a great challenge when it comes to cost, program cost, and delivery. So I think there's going to have to be a whole new group of people who understand finances, student financial aid, the packages you put together for students, and how it is we're going to bring disadvantaged students into the community college environment or the state university environment with these ever-increasing tuition costs.
Thank you. Oh, we got one more. And I think this will be the last question for the webinar today, but please do go ahead and continue to enter questions if you have them. We will respond to you by email afterwards. The last question that I see today, though, is can you share with us the average age of the students in this specific program?
I can promise you that every single student that's enrolled in the program is younger than I am. So I would put that right out on the table. I would guess probably in the 40s. We have them as young, 26, 28. We have some that are older and just simply want as the capstone to their career. But most are in that, in the faculty ranks or director ranks or the beginning ranks in terms of upward administrative movement. And so they tend to be a little more mature, but certainly much younger than I was when I began a doctoral program.
Thanks, Joe. Again, everyone, we'll send you a link to this webinar video so that you can reference this information whenever you need to. And thanks again for joining our webinar today. We hope this session has been helpful as you consider Oregon State's Doctor of Education program in Community College Leadership. Have a great day.
Thank you.